Everyone's there to tell you yes in Vegas. Everyone's there to tell you no in LA. That's why I think it's very different. Bruh. That is the worst.
Have you done it before?
Of course, I lived in LA for 2 years. I was an actor for a while, and I just remember it was just like you do so much for so little, if that makes any sense. Right?
Explain.
Like the women in Vegas are so much more attractive on average than the women in LA. They're more attractive women in LA. So if I'm at the Playboy Mansion, the Maxim Party, Dan Bilzerian's house, or Babes in Toyland, the women in LA are definitely hotter. If I'm out on a regular Sunday night at XS, the women in Vegas are hotter. Right? Does that make sense?
I see.
When I go to Greystone or if I went to Warwick or whatever, those girls don't even compare to what we have in Vegas. So for me, it was like I was doing less and being around more attractive women by being in Vegas than I was in LA. Whereas in LA, I'm like fighting and scratching and clawing to get into a nightclub full of people that I was like not interested in. And all the women, not all of them, I don't want to be super generalistic, but they were very, very much tilted towards extreme clout chasing, extreme drug use, and extreme chasing after money. Like,
does that not happen in Vegas? I feel like it's also a kind of place.
Funny enough, it does, but the difference is no one's lying to you here. Like in LA, that's the king of, hey, meet my boyfriend. He's a music producer, but he's also a drug dealer, and he's also trying to manage an OnlyFans agency. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I think you're so right.
Music producer, drug dealer, trying to manage an OnlyFans agency, and there's a show on Netflix he's got coming out, quote unquote, and he's gonna be famous, and let him into the club, and like the dudes are like, no, your boyfriend's a fucking loser. Like there's so much of I'm gonna be. There's so much in LA of I'm going to be famous next year, or this new NFT or crypto thing I got is going to make me rich next year. There's so much of that, and they're delusional. And in Vegas, there's none of that. In Vegas, it's like nobody lies to you about how much that table is going to cost. And the girls who work here legit do make $240 a year as a cocktail server. So it's like, so it's the world here. While is it shallow? Definitely shallow. Are they lying to you like they are? Like, LA just feels like there's a few famous people at the top and everyone else is just coping to try to hold on and to become it. Unless you do like what you're doing, which is Twitch streaming, or you're actually a cocktail server, or even like if you're it's like the difference between waiting to be a runway model versus a girl who goes to be a stripper. You could say the runway model is a more noble career, but the stripper's making money today. She's not waiting to be famous. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like Vegas is more of the second hand, where it's like everyone here is like they're making money today. Oh, this is the best way to explain it. In LA, you got to look on it. Okay. In LA, you have to look good on camera. In Vegas, you have to look good in person. That's the difference.
Really?
Yes. There's no way to get a job in Vegas. There's no way to get a job in Vegas and just look good on camera. You have to look good in person.
No, you're right.
You're not going to get you're not going to, Drake, I think the table mins for Drake at XS were $100,000. One time, Calvin Harris played at XS one time. It was $1 million. Like they paid him $1 million just for the performance. Dance floor, I mean, you're talking anywhere from 25 to 50K. The cocktail server for a 50K table can't look good on camera. She has to look good in person. There's no way, you can't face app your way to faking this. So that's why it's a little different here than it is in other cities. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Yeah. Would you say like LA has more of an imposter syndrome then?
It's not imposter syndrome. They're just imposters.
It's not a syndrome.
Yeah, imposter syndrome, you have to have empathy. Imposter syndrome, you have to like not be a psychopath. No, in Vegas, in LA, they have narcissists and psychopaths. They're just imposters.
Yeah,
and I've never been to a city with more fake rich people, and I've never been to a city with more people like telling me their plan how they're going to be rich next year than I've been in LA. And then just like their nightlife is, I think the nightlife in Wichita, Kansas is better than the nightlife in Los Angeles. The nightlife in LA is just terrible. Like it really.
Interesting. Why?
Because everyone is, just next time you go out to a nightclub in LA, look for the club promoters. They look angry. They're wearing all black. They're staring at their phone. They have like a ball fade on the side with their hair swooshed over. They're wearing a hoodie with no sleeves. Like, are you hot or cold, motherfucker? Like, I don't understand. And they're like, the girls in the group are wearing sweatpants, and it's a race to the bottom to see who looks like they care less about how they dress. And everyone looks so incredibly unhappy when they're there. And it's like, this isn't fun. But in Vegas, what do the guys wear? They're wearing suits. They're wearing Brooks Brothers suits that are bright blue with like really beautiful shoes. The hosts always tell you yes or try to find a solution for you. No one's mean to you at the door. When you walk in, there's big bright lights and confetti. Everyone's there to tell you yes in Vegas. Everyone's there to tell you no in LA. That's why I think it's very different.
That is so interesting.
You can't turn left in LA. Like there's traffic is there to tell you no. The housing prices are there to tell you no. You pay $3,000 for a fucking 1-bedroom that's sliding down the Santa Monica Mountains, and the foundation is rotting. The world's there to tell you no. You want to go park at your friend's place? No, there's no place to park. Like LA's just always telling you no. Vegas is always telling you yes. You want to come park here? Yes, come park. You want to get into the club? Yes. Oh, you're a local? Come on in for free. We'll give you whatever you want for free.
That's so interesting.
Tonight we're going to Cathedral, the brand new restaurant inside of Aria. Probably not going to have to pay for anything. We're going to be there with celebrities. Vegas is there to tell you yes. LA is there to tell you no. That's the reason why I like it living here more.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm originally from New York, so I definitely miss like the people in New York versus in LA.
But in New York, how many friends did you have that didn't own a car? A lot of them, right?
Most of them,
right. So in LA, people still think they all need a car. That's why, like Chicago, there's it's kind of a mix. In LA, everyone still has a car, or a lot of people still have a car, but there's nowhere to park. In New York, they've given up on that notion, and everyone takes the bus or takes an Uber, a subway, or whatever, and so you don't have the same problem. It's actually easier to get around in Manhattan with 8 million people on the island than there is to get in LA
100%
with 4 million people. It doesn't make any sense, but it's like. LA is like if you have a son who's 6'8" with a 40-inch vertical who tells you he doesn't want to play basketball. It's just disappointing. The whole place, LA could be the greatest city in America, but they're so ass backwards with the way they do things. And that's why, like, when you see San Diego's beautiful, it's incredible. Orange County is incredible. All these places terrific, but like Los Angeles, they just miss the mark on so many different things.
Interesting. I've actually had like the most friends in my life in LA.
For sure.
But
I have a ton of friends in LA too. I just can't get to them because I'm in Santa Monica and they're in Silver Lake, and sorry, we'll never see each other again.
That's actually very true. If you're like more than 30 minutes away, you're like never seeing your friends.
Correct.
More than twice a year.
Yeah.
Probably.